Firstly, congrats on the win tonight. Hard fought. Can you just give us some initial thoughts and feelings on your team's performance?
Well, I just think that I've said the word before in a few of these press conferences, but we continue to show grit. That was a hell of a back and forth game. I mean, New Zealand's late run, the way they shot the three, I think they made 10 threes the second half. I'd love to see us kind of put it away when we were up 10, but, the fact that we hung in there and we got our feet under us and, even down four with like 2 minutes ago in overtime, the fact that, we got our legs back under us and we never panicked. The guys keep battling. We gave up 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. We gave up 3 the second. It was huge for us. Points from turnovers, we had one of our best games, 18-6 off that. And, we added a new player and blended John into the group. And we got up 38 threes, which might be a season high, and 16 from 38 is pretty good for us. And, I just thought we went down the line with guys had big moments. There was moments by Rack, and then there was moments by Z. And, John with his threes. DJ found his range late. It was a total team effort. I want to shout out also Flynn. He's a player that continues to grow. He's still young. He does a few things that you'd like to, hey, slow down a little bit right there. Let's kill a little more clock. And then he makes that big three right there at the end that was just huge. And, he continues to grow each game, and that's what you want to see from a young player, never be afraid of the moment. And he just, kind of got emotional discipline almost. Like he never wavers. He's got great confidence in himself, and he knocked down a big play there. And then, it's hard for me to not talk about the guy sitting beside me. He makes everything go. He's the MVP. He's the best player in this league. We're lucky to have him in Adelaide. I'm lucky to coach him. It's hard for me to sit here and say all these good things about him, but we really are fortunate, and when you have that much experience, he never wavered in what we were doing, their communication level with the players on the bench, where we were, what they wanted to run, even at the end there where we still had Matt Kenyon and Isaac White on the floor, to get to the last pick and roll and to get a switch and to make a shot, that's what Bryce Cotton does. And, it's just a hell of a gritty win for the 36ers.
Bryce, with 10 seconds to go, they have the ball and they're up 1. First of all, for you to get the shot you got, you needed the defensive play, right? Just how big was that moment when you guys forced the turnover?
I mean, it was huge. Obviously, that took away a chance for them to put some points on the board. Kenny did a hell of a job pressuring Cartwright, and then he's been having a great game, so I figured I'd jump out and try to double him, and we were able to buy a little more than 5 seconds, so we got the final shot.
And you get the ball with 10 seconds remaining, down 1. Just take us through your mindset in this scenario. I think you had found a rhythm, right, in the second half.
Yeah, well, Mike was asking me a million different questions on what guy I wanted to screen, or did I want to screen, and when they're trying to figure out who's coming in, my brain doesn't work that way. I figure stuff out on the fly, so it's like, I don't know, but once I get the ball, in my mind, I'm thinking once I get the ball, I'll figure it out as I'm in motion. And then Kenny comes in, sets a good screen, forces a switch, and I just thought to myself, there's no way I get 2 chances to win the game and, not make one of them.
What did you see from the Breakers tonight? Because they're a team that's had their struggles this year, and they've lost, a key import, but they certainly push you guys to the limit, right? What did you see from them?
A team that's hungry, fighting for their playoff life, basically, and that's something that we have to understand going forward. No matter who we're playing, we're going to get every team's best shot because we're the standard of the league. We've been the number 1 team in the league for however many weeks now. So, we need to act like it. And I'm happy that we got the win, but the fact we were up 10 with probably 3 minutes left and went into overtime, some things we got to look over. And we had a similar moment like that the last time we played New Zealand. So happy we got the win, but it's always a positive learning on a winning note.
Coach, what do you think your team's biggest takeaway should be? What should you guys learn the most from being pushed so hard?
Well, I think grit. You know, it's really hard to win in this league. I think in my former life in the NBA, you know, there's a lot of wins you just get at the end of the year because guys are in the lottery. You know, that doesn't happen here. Everybody's scrapping. Everybody's trying to win. It's what I love about the league. It's why I came here, to be honest with you, is that every game is a real game. And they played so well and so hard. And, you know, I would love to sit here and say, man, we get up 10. You know, do we need to fix that? Yes, we definitely need to fix that, and we need to put that game away at that point. But you get Parker Jackson Cartwright, you know, credit for coming down and pulling up and making those threes and getting to the line. And, you know, the second one, Flynn's right there on the three-point line, and he just walks into it. But to your question, I just think that we've done this over and over and over on the road. I think it's a really, really important quality to find ways to win. And for us, this is our start of these are playoff games. That was a playoff game for New Zealand. It's a playoff game for us. We hadn't lost 2 in a row. It was really important for us to get back on the winning side of it. I think that your grit and your character, and I love our group. They've been super coachable. Maybe I talk too much to Bryce about who's going to screen it, but you know, in the moment, you're just trying to solve the problem. And what I do love is that him and his teammates, a lot of times I give them that extra time to talk, and sometimes when I'm stepping in, they've already got it solved. And it's a credit to them and the maturity of our group and how well they've come together and how well they mesh.
Chris?
I'll start with you, Mike. I'm back inside the speaker again after last week.
Yeah, but it was nice to see you in person one game.
Yes, it was. What happened at the last play? So when it turned out you were down a point instead of 2 or 3 if they made a couple of free throws if they got the ball in, you wanted to get Nick back in the game, but then you weren't allowed. Did you want to run a different play that you ended up running, or what was your thinking?
Well, I mean, obviously, when you sub a little bit defensively there, and you've got to go for a steal, and you know you got to try to get the steal at that point. Then, if not, you got to foul, right? And the best case scenario of all of that is the 5-second call. So, you know, that's one of the things that you're playing in your mind when you sub, but no time went off the clock. So, you know, at that point, then we're just seeing who they had on the floor, and then they subbed Sam back in or whatever. So as soon as we saw the matchups and they actually gave us the ball, you know, there was it seemed like a 3-minute delay there, and that's why there was so much. I just needed to see who was on the ball, but obviously it was like, Bryce, do you want to, you know, have it without a pick and roll, or do you want to go up and have somebody set it? Was the biggest decision. You know, and you're spacing the floor with shooters, and you're going to make a play with 10 seconds to go, and Bryce made the play. So,
how big of a result is it to get this? Because this is a big weekend. You obviously wouldn't have wanted to be going into this game on a short turnaround to Sydney on Sunday, having lost 3 in a row. I mean, how big of a result is it to get over the line like you just did?
Huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, I think every one of these games is huge. You know, for us to play in Perth the other day, and now we're in New Zealand today, and we're in Sydney, you know, flying to Sydney tomorrow and play a 2:00 game on Sunday. Anything you got to do to get a win, you got to get the win. And what we did today was show heart and character and all those things, but it comes down to grit. The guys never quit. They never wavered. We knew the score. We knew the time. We knew the foul situation. And then we just kept working the problem to figure out how we could get the shot that we wanted.
I'll come to you, Bryce. It's obviously not your first game winner. I'm sure it won't be your last. But can you just talk through what the feeling's like when you know the game's on the line and you see the shot you've just taken just go through the net?
My first game winner with Adelaide?
No, it's not your first and it won't be your last.
Oh, okay.
It must be still pretty special.
Yeah, it's the moments that you kind of, live for. Obviously, both teams are going back and forth. But I was pretty upset with myself not making that layup in regulation. So I just kind of, silently thought to myself, especially once we got the 5-second violation, if I have 2 chances to win the game, one of them's got to go in, because that's the standard that I hold myself to.
And history shows you certainly deliver. What about playing alongside John? Only his second game from tonight, he hit 3-pointers. You must be pretty excited now for the rest of the season to have a shooter like that alongside you.
Absolutely. He's a true pro. He knows how to play the game. His movement with and without the ball is amazing, and we all kind of fed off of that. But it was just a great team win. John, carried us a big part of that first half. And then even down the stretch, he hit some big shots for us. Flynn hit some big shots. DJ hit a couple threes. That's what it's about, finding those sweet spots where, we have so many weapons on the floor and being able to utilize that. But, back to John, for him to have a game like this in just his second game with us, it's very impressive, but it's not surprising.
Short turnaround now. I'm sure you're feeling all of those 42 minutes that you played tonight, but big game on Sunday, but I'm sure it softens the blow getting ready for that, just with the momentum that you can take out of that sort of a win.
It's just another day. This is a normal day, so got to have short memory. We were able to get the win, but now it's on to the next.
Thanks very much, guys.
Max, questions?
Yeah, well done on the win. Just on the asylum cheating of unsportsmanlike foul at the end there, the tunnelling. What did you make of that?
Who's that question for?
That's for you.
Oh. I got to be honest, we're all competing in the moment. Obviously, a really, really tough play. I think Zylan's trying to do the right thing. Obviously, Sam's up in the air. I love Sam Meninga. He's a hell of a young player. I don't want to ever see anybody get hurt. So there was a few bodies in my way, and I'm just trying to figure out if that was an unsportsman or not, but I get it. Sam landed really hard. It's just a tough play. I know Z is a competitive and trying to do the right thing, and, Sam's trying to go get the ball, and it just sort of happens, right? I just hope everybody's okay, and Sam's okay.
Mike, you must be pretty stoked about John Jenkins and his game today.
I got a history. I think there's 3 guys on my roster now. Bryce, I have a history with from my time in Utah. Zylan, I have a history with my time in Utah, and John Jenkins with USA Basketball. World Cup qualifying windows. The guy's a fucking competitor. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize for the language that just slipped out. But he's a true pro, and he's a competitor, and he's been in big, big games. We kind of kid around because we played in this World Cup qualifier in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, and John Jenkins ran 3/4 of the court, dove full court, grabbed the ball, rolled over, ran back in, and we got him in on a trail 3 to win in San Juan. He's been in those moments. DJ's been in those moments. Flynn is growing. Bryce has been in those moments. So I think he fits the character of our team on and off the court. We're figuring out how to play with him. He had a few great looks that didn't go in, and I think once he gets over flying from Romania to Perth to Adelaide to New Zealand, that he's going to get his legs under him, and you're going to see more and more of that. And I didn't get DJ going as quickly tonight, but we will. We absolutely will. I've got a lot of different lineups, and we're trying to blend those things together depending on how the game's going. So even though we've got 7 games to go, we're really growing. We've still got a ways to go, and we'll figure it out here over the last 7.
We'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Well done.